Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. Today we had a big Mafex exhibition. So much came out throughout the day, starting from the early morning around I want to say 6:30 for me, all the way to even now. It's just been absolutely insane, and I feel like there's still even more, maybe that we didn't see or just haven't had clearer photos of. But that will all work itself out in due time. But I've got all of the images so far that I believe have, kind of been what we know it to be that's there. Like I said, there could be other stuff, but this is so far everything that photos have came out from. I couldn't find a definitive place where every photo has been kind of just logged already, so I kind of just loaded them up here. So it'll be a little bit of a process going through each of these tabs, but credits to whoever took the pictures and where they were originally posted, because they just kind of spread like wildfire from Twitter to Instagram to Reddit. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, this first picture is nothing too crazy. There is the upcoming figures for Mafex Mandalorian that's supposed to release in December of this year. I'm forgetting her name, but another Mandalorian character, Ahsoka, and this is rumored to be Luke in the back, and I don't really know why they blurred it. I don't know. It could be Luke, and if it is, that's cool. And it would make me feel better about skipping out on the SH Figure Arts one. This here is, of course, it's a little bit of a blurry picture, but it's a new look at the Mafex, the Batman, that's supposed to be releasing soon. It was looking like it was scheduled for July, but potentially got pushed back a couple of months. I'd have to check, but yeah, sometime within the next 4 months, I would assume he's supposed to come out. Moving on, here is a good look at the Flash from the movie, and I think it looks really good. I do wish that they would go into the comic versions of Flash in a little bit, but I don't know how far off that type of thing is for them. Right now they seem to be kind of focusing their efforts on comic book Superman and Batman stuff, so we'll see if they ever transition into some other characters. But for the time being, this probably will be a good stand-in. I think it does look better design-wise in Mafex form and build-wise. But I guess we'll have to see how it looks colored to really get a definitive opinion on that. But overall, I do like it, and I probably will pick it up because there aren't a whole lot of good Flash figures, and the McFarlane ones aren't bad, but they're just not in scale for the type of collection I would have. As we know, they've been doing a lot more of the Snyder Cut stuff, so it's assumed that we'll also get a new Snyder Cut Barry. Nothing much I can say else about that. I probably would pick this one up too. They've already done Cyborg. They've done the Black Suit Superman. They're doing Aquaman. And we're waiting to see. We haven't seen Wonder Woman here. That's an interesting one, I would say. But we've seen kind of everybody else. So there's Batman. I think he's getting 2 different figures, maybe 3, but so far I've seen 2. His regular outfit you see during the movie, and the Nightmare one. And I'll be honest, so somewhere in this text, and I should have it pulled up in one of these other tabs, it says Nightmare 3-pack on Superman's little title card thing right there. And I'm assuming these are the 3. This is the 3-pack right here, because they're kind of placed together. It wouldn't make really much sense to throw them in there with a character that says 3-pack. But yeah, I guess it would be the Nightmare sequence stuff and evil, quote unquote, Superman. I don't necessarily care for the Joker. I know I made some tweets and posts today saying who the hell wants Joker, but it's Joker. I just feel like he could have been replaced with somebody else from the Nightmare sequence, like another Flash, for example, or one of the other characters. But I guess Joker is popular enough. I mean, we live in a society, so there you go. But Nightmare Batman looks cool. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that. I would like to see this be soft goods, though, so I don't know. I guess we'll see how that turns out. Of course, all these are in early development still. These could be 3 years away for all we know, especially the unpainted ones, as you'll see when we start getting into the boys stuff. But yeah, these look pretty cool. I definitely, everything that we've seen so far today, I have a very high interest in to pick up, no doubt. We also have here the Reign of the Superman stuff with Eradicator And then you have Superboy here, and then you've got the I forget the name of the suit. It's the same type of suit from the one that the Snyder Cut one was wearing, essentially, to kind of, I guess, get his powers back or whatever. They look cool. Eradicator looks pretty cool. I know some people were talking about the faces on a lot of these figures look a little meh, but I'm hoping that, in the time frame that they do have between when they announce it officially and now, things are, fixed and look a little bit better. I know people were talking about also he's supposed to be a little smaller as a character. I mean, he's not a full grown adult, I guess, in the comic books at that point. And of course, the design from comic book to movie is going to look different. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. He's got a little soft goods jacket there, I believe, which is cool. And Eradicator looks pretty nice. Definitely will pick him up. I haven't touched too much into the whole Reign of Superman stuff just because I'm not a big Superman guy, but I did like that movie. I didn't read the comic book. I know. Don't get on me. Here's another look at the Batman. Really good. Yeah, nothing too much I can say about that. I would assume the ones that have like actual, full colored models have a higher chance of kind of already being on the way. Especially for the Snyder Cut stuff, they kind of are keeping like up to date with that pretty well. Aquaman's next, obviously, but I'm assuming Batman or the Flash would get an announcement next. And there's that other same picture. Now, there you go. Wayne collectors, appreciate it. Black Adam. Now, there are two versions of Black Adam preview here, and we're not going to pay attention to the face. It doesn't look like The Rock, but you could see some of The Rock in there, but it does not look like The Rock when you look at it like up close. But yeah, so there are two versions of Black Adam that we see here. You've got this one where he's kind of just in the all black garb, and then he's got his little cape or hood, whatever you want to call it. And then we have one here on the throne, and like I said, don't pay attention to the face. And this is the end of the movie version, I believe. Now, if I recall correctly, I believe the SH Figuarts one is this, the black. And we don't have any one of these except for, like, I want to say McFarlane and Hot Toys. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. He's a lot more bulkier. If he comes with the throne, I think he's going to be a really big, like, centerpiece for people, and they're going to be wanting to buy that. Just because, you don't get that too often with these Mafex figures. It's usually just the figure, some accessories and whatnot. They usually don't come with too much. And also touching back on the Superman stuff here. Not that one. Where is it at? This one. I believe that a 3-pack would be the first time like Mafex has done something like that, which opens the door for many other things in the future. I don't know what it is about companies wanting to start like doing double packs and 3-packs now for some of these import figures and whatnot, but I'm all for it if it's worth it. If they bundle up these 3, I may get it, but I don't necessarily care for the Joker, at least right now. But yeah, so Black Adam, pretty cool. I guess we'll see how it turns out in the future. I definitely consider getting this one, though, like I said, if it came with the throne. And there's a little bit of a close-up of the Joker. Face is what it is, Jared Leto. The people did notice that this is all like soft goods on him, which looks great. Well, at least on the bottom portion, does look like soft goods. Top portion probably could be soft goods too. But for sure, you can tell he looks like he's actually wearing clothes, which is nice. I mean, he's not going to be doing too much articulation-wise. I mean, like, you're not going to be doing kicks and shit, you know what I mean? But definitely, he's an okay figure. Anyways, moving on, we got Mafex, Batman, Hush. So I wasn't expecting them to kind of continue in this realm here, but we're getting the Riddler, and we're also getting a Scarecrow. I gotta say, I really was not expecting either of those, and let alone, I wasn't expecting them to do a Scarecrow that looked this good. Obviously, I do still want to see them kind of give characters more thigh swivel. That's just personal to me. I know that they are doing that with some characters, like, for example, Mafex, the Batman, has a dedicated thigh swivel there, as well as here in the crotch area, you can swivel and pivot, whatever. But I would like to see that more, just in general. Now, of course, again, these are early development. We don't know how far along these figures are from actually coming to pre-order market. But suit characters traditionally, I feel like could be better too. I know that they don't really want to break the mold, so I don't know if they intend to give you an optional part for this, like they did John Wick, to give him, you know, a full ab crunch and whatnot. But they also don't really seem to want to do bicep swivels on suited characters. I don't know if it's a design choice just to not break the mold, but or break the design, I should say. But you know, they look good, so I'm not necessarily gonna have a big gripe at it. Scarecrow especially. I don't have a Batman though from the comics, and I don't really like the Nightfall one, so I guess we'll see how this progresses, because if they reissue any Hush Batman figures, you better be on it. Moving on to the boys. Now, you know, Homelander's already out, Starlight is on her way out, Black Noir, yeah, he's already out, and Butcher's already out. We've got a new look at Queen Maeve here, and one thing I noticed right off the bat is it looks like she may have sculpted arms together. And I think that's pretty cool. I don't really see them do that too often for characters. And it looked like it would probably just plug in at the elbow joints there, which is cool. So if she does happen to come with that officially when we see her next in the next, I don't know, year maybe, or whenever they show off her fully colored and whatnot, with any updated articulation, definitely looks like it could be a pickup. But overall, just design wise, the boys figures look really good, really detailed. Let's look who's here. All right, we got A-Train. Doesn't have a bicep swivel right now. I'm hoping that changes. I don't know. For speedsters, they need to have more than just, you know, arms that at the elbow they have articulation. I need it all. All right, but I don't know how much further along they are right now, but hopefully it's a good progress, because I am waiting for this one out of most of the other characters, just because A-Train's really freaking cool, and speedsters, you know, always steal the show. Here we go though, the meme man himself, the Deep. You gotta get this guy, bro. You have to, for the memes. This guy is pure meme fuel. All right, but he does look good. Again, face, I'm not too sure how people feel about that one, but I mean, it's probably the same situation with Homelander. People wanted to get probably third-party scopes to make him look a little bit more like the actor. I'd imagine it might be the same for this, but I mean, to me, it looks just okay right now. Of course, it's blurry, so I can't make a dedicated, you know, thought on it right now. Once we get hopefully some HD pictures from Medicom themselves, because for some reason they just have no photos at this event. When they know that people are going to take photos anyway. It just doesn't make sense. Here you go. There's a Soldier Boy there, and I believe same kind of build as the last time we saw him at SDCC, I want to say last year. So who knows how far along they are now currently. I don't know if this is just what they have up to date, or if this is just the latest in the stand-in right now to kind of say, yeah, we're still working on it. I'm hoping this is relatively soon though, because I would like to see them complete the boys, the 7 at least, but I don't know if they're going to do like Huey or Mother's Milk or anything like that. That's the only reason I haven't bought personally Butcher, because it feels out of place. Like, you don't have the rest of the boys there, you know what I mean? So I guess we'll see. But yeah, I think that's it for all the boys and DC stuff. So moving on to the Marvel stuff, we got Mafex Daredevil. Now, a lot of people were waiting for this guy too, me and myself included. I think this opened the door for potentially like an Elektra figure as well as Bullseye. I don't know if they do a Kingpin figure. It's possible, but with the way that they do builds of characters, I just don't see them doing a bigger character like Kingpin at all. You might have better luck waiting for like a new Marvel Legends for that, like a retro card one or something, to be reissued. But also in the back there, you've got Stealth Suit Classic Iron Man, I guess you could call it. And I don't know if they're going to reissue this. I mean, I still see it somewhat available on some sites, but, you know, I'd assume this is similar to like the Webman situation, maybe. Who knows? I don't know if they're going to make this one like that kind of exclusive. I hope not, because this is definitely probably the cheaper release out of the two there. Moving on, we've got X-Men Age of Apocalypse. Cyclops in the back being developed. Wolverine looks to be more ready for, I would say, pre-orders eventually. I don't like that they're kind of jumping around from different storylines right now. It's kind of the same with like the Batman stuff too. I don't really like that. I would prefer if they just finished one storyline, or not storyline, at least just one main like era of that character or characters. So for example, the 90s X-Men, I would like them to get Jubilee, Rogue, Professor X if they want to, and Beast out before they start jumping back into like Age of Apocalypse. You know what I mean? That's just my personal take on it. Not that the figures are bad or anything. It's just it takes long enough for the figures to come out already, and to be like dividing it up like that just seems so unnecessary. But that's just my opinion. Here's the one that stole the show for me. Mafex Classic 2099 Spider-Man. I think it was pretty much expected that they would get to this eventually. I do find it very, very weird though that there's no Kane at all. It's simple design to do, but I do find it weird because we've already got 2 Scarlet Spiders, or 2 Ben Rileys, I guess you could say. And personally, I'm not the biggest Ben Reilly fan. I do like the suits and whatnot, but I just feel like, okay, let's get the Clone Saga out the way a little bit, and then we can move on to like 2099, and hopefully after that we can move on to maybe some Spider-Man villains, because he's severely lacking in that department from Mafex at least. Your only options to get Spider-Man villains from that era in the 90s, classic looking, is Marvel Legends right now, and the retro cards or the VHS versions right now. So that it's very limited, you know. Speaking of that, there also was some pretty decent Hasbro reveals, so if you want to go take a look at that, be my guest, but I don't cover that too much. We also got Phoenix Jean, and I know a lot of people were complaining about her face, like she was done pretty poorly. I can agree, like now that the hype is over, I can kind of look at it now. Yeah, they could definitely do her better and give her, I don't know, just it feels like I don't want to say rushed her out, but even with the other Jean, like she just feels bare bones too with accessories, and you know, she could be better, I guess is the best way to put it. She could be way better. I don't know if she's going to come with any flame type effects or what, but they better treat her right this time around. And I mean, you know that they're going to do a Dark Phoenix eventually too, and they're just going to repaint this one, give you some different head sculpts, and call it a day. I would hope that that's not the case, and they kind of just, you know, overhaul her a little bit and actually think about what accessories to put with her. And I get it, she's like a telekinetic or whatever, so maybe they're having a hard time visualizing those effects in an accessory. I don't know. Moving on, after Jean, we got an update on classic Captain America. So I think the first time we saw him was last year. Could have been earlier, but last year at San Diego Comic-Con. And yeah, we're finally getting our update here. A lot of people were questioning bro's skin tone. I mean, it is what it is, man. I can't comment too much on that right now, because every figure company does it differently. You know what I mean? Like it's going to vary by a lot, and this definitely could change. But I mean, I would imagine he's somewhere next up on the list to get a pre-order announcement already, just to kind of complete that quote-unquote big 3 that everybody's going around using for the Marvel now, with Cap, Tony, and Thor. So we'll see, but I imagine he's relatively close to getting announced. I will say though, the Marvel Legends 20th anniversary Captain America is just as good, if not maybe a little bit better. We have to see what accessories this cap will come with, but right now, if you don't really want to mess with Mafex, that 20th anniversary one is a good bet. You know, I don't know how much he goes for on the market right now, because he's somewhat old, like a few months old now, maybe a year old, but he's definitely worth it. So yeah, let's move on here. Lastly, we've got the Mafex, I forget what these suit numbers are, man, but the Infinity War Iron Man suit. that comes with a ton of effects. It's the expensive one. It's like in the hundreds, some 120 or something like that. But it's definitely looking like they really packed some action in here. Like they did really well with each individual accessory. So, you know, if you got this, by all means, I'm gonna be excited to see people take pictures and whatnot. Looks phenomenal. And all right, I'll take fault. Originally, there was some list. I don't know if I have it up here or not. Probably not. Yeah, I don't have the list up here. There was a list that came out earlier in the day, and it had like a good amount of figures that had already been shown, right, through some of these pictures that you've already seen. And on the list, it did say Netflix Daredevil and Netflix Punisher. Now, I already knew I was going to have to take it with a grain of salt, but from far away, this guy kind of looked like the Netflix Daredevil to me, without not this red suit, like his early suit with just like the black hoodie. And I can't even talk. Like that's how thrown back I was by it. So, you know, initially that would have been cool, and I was questioning like, what is this then? Because that definitely is not the Punisher. But you know, it's okay to be wrong. So I'm gonna have hope that they would do a Netflix Daredevil, but weird for people to, you know, make that call out of a list and not really be there. But then again, I'm hoping that it is there. You know, who knows? There's a whole bunch of stuff that was coming out throughout the day. Like we barely were getting some updated photos of this type of stuff. So I'm hoping somewhere it's there. But I will note that it does say Infinity Saga, not just a specific movie, which I think is an interesting thing. I don't know if they've been doing that already, by the way, but it'd be interesting just to see them continue to do that, but not just for the most recent stuff. I would like to see them take it back to the line even further, like they are doing for the Winter Soldier movie for Captain America. Continue to do those individual movies back to back. It's going to be a good time. However, I will say it's weird that they're not announcing like Shuri, Black Panther at all either, or Namor. Definitely some questionable characters that should be, I feel, pushed to the market a little bit more, like Scarlet Witch, for example, with the fan base she has, and the, you know, just the overall popularity of that character as of, I feel, WandaVision. Like, I don't know what's going on. I feel like she's not really getting proper representation in merchandising, because she's barely even getting a Marvel Legends that's an exclusive at that point. So it's, I don't know, it's weird. I guess we'll see. I would love to see also Illuminati members from Multiverse of Madness. Granted, they all died, but still, some of them were cool looking, like Black Bolt. But here also is the the classic suit that he stole from the museum. No bicep swivel though. I don't know what the deal is with that. Why they don't want to give Captain America bicep swivel, because they did that with the stealth suit as well. So I'm not really sure what the deal is there. Maybe they have articulation where he can rotate the actual arm, forearm here at the elbow like they do some figures. But I guess we'll see. I don't mind it if that's what they're trying to do for him, just kind of keep the sculpt up here. But if not, then I don't know. It just feels like they could have done a little bit of better job there. Finally, getting into the Spider-Man stuff. Spider-Man No Way Home, Tobey Maguire, Raimi, Spider-Man. This is the one everybody's for sure been waiting for, because the movie's been out for a while now. We're barely starting to really get merch for them overall, from Legends to Figuarts to Mafex and Hot Toys and Funko Pops. It's all finally starting now. So, gotta say, this is for sure going to be a cop. 100% for everybody. This thing is going to sell out. So, I do recommend you pay attention to Medicom Mafex, anybody that covers Mafex, because when this dude goes up for pre-order, he's for sure going to sell out. 100%. I don't know if they have, licensing rights or anything like that to do any other type of Raimi Spider-Man, but please, if they could do like one of the Spider-Man 1 or 2 characters, or even 3, that would be crazy. You know what I mean? Because it's just been so long since we've gotten proper merch for that Spider-Man series, and I think it would be a nice thing to just start going back to. for nostalgia purposes probably, but you know, it's a great Spider-Man. It's a great suit. And one thing I will note now is there was no pictures of Andrew's Spider-Man from the TASM series. I did hear though, and because I'm still kind of relatively new to Mafex, I've only been in the line like for about a year and about 2 years almost now. That I want to say TASM Spider-Man was one of their first Spider-Man. The TASM Spider-Man was one of their first figures Mafex released, is what I want to say. So people are speculating maybe they just want to treat him really well. Maybe they want to hold off announcing him, or maybe he's something special to them since he was one of their first releases, and they kind of want to treat him, you know, in that capacity as such, and kind of like, hey, yeah, here's one of our first releases. He's coming with XYZ or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, also in the beginning, the fact that they're doing 3-packs is quite interesting. It's very possible that they could do a 3-pack for the No Way Home stuff, which is good and bad. It's good because you get them all in one place. You don't have to worry about pre-ordering individually. However, with doing that, because we don't really know what the capacity of accessories that they would go for each character is, how would they treat each character, evenly, I guess you could say. Of course, they're going to do webs. And I mean, they could really just do one set of webs and I'd be okay. Because, I mean, you don't really need a whole lot of webs unless they're all going to be unique, which I can't imagine that they are. They probably would just be regular webs that we've been getting, you know, for most Mafex Spider-Man. But yeah, I don't know. That's something to think about. Here's the integrated suit. And quite frankly, I mean, I have to see how it looks colored. The SH Figure Arts one, I dig the SH Figure Arts one. Of course, I just don't like the head. And of course, we know that Mafex is a lot better when it comes to doing one-to-one IRL capture of the face likeness. That's not really SH Figure Arts department, but yeah, I'll be interested to see how it looks. If you've seen the upgraded suit from Mafex that's releasing, I want to say September this year, it's more like, I don't want to say studded, but you can see like the details really like popping out at the edges, and you kind of see that here. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Moving on, this is just kind of the blurry picture that was there for these two, and yeah, that's it. So with that being said, as of the time I'm recording this video, I've not seen any other things coming out just yet. If anything else does happen, Mafex wise, I will post it in a community post, and if it's big enough that it's video worthy, I'll make a video on it. But so far, this is everything from the Medicom Mafex exhibit today, and boy, everybody's wallets are crying right now because 100% they have a lot of things that people are interested in here across the board, from DC, Marvel, The Boys, comic book fans. It's gonna be great. So if you're into Mafex, now is the time. If you're into getting into the line for the first time, now is the time to start paying attention, because they've got some really cool things coming. But with that being said, there's been other news related to SDCC and Tamashii Nations Tokyo and all that good stuff that I want to talk about in another video. So if you are interested in those kind of products from SH Figure Arts, be on the lookout for a new video. If you're also curious about other stuff like what happened for day one of SDCC or preview night, I got other videos, you can check those out. Anyways, catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace.